part 4 of this amazing little game. It's yeah. Uh, I can't stop frothing about it. To be honest, it's that good. So we've had our first change. We have done some murders, and Olga has very succinctly put it. You're a werewolf. So yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to turn my audio down because that's very loud for me. Apologies. So, the heart of the forest. The morning smelled of fir, earth, and the forest. Over the gentle snoring that filled the warm space under the low-hanging branches of an old spruce tree, I heard a squirrel. I was hungry. Oh, I'm not going to eat a squirrel. I went outside. I quietly crawled outside. Nah, I went outside. Stepping over the sleeping forms, I made my way outside. Alone, hiding in the grass, I sniffed around the sky. I sniffed around. The sky was bright and the forest around me was dark and full of interesting smells. High in the trees, birds yelled about status, sex, and violence. As you do. I was in danger. Memories started to come back. Something was wrong with that picture. Yeah, something's not good. I was in danger. The thought was abrupt and unwanted, but like a siren. Something had happened last night. I pressed myself flat to the ground and pricked my ears. They wouldn't find me unprepared. A creature stirred in the bushes nearby. A tall, dark silhouette. A strangely familiar smell. Well, I think I know who it is. Give or take, maybe. Who knows? I tensed up. I tensed up and watched the human as they looked around. Maya, are you there? They said when they noticed me. It was time to get out of there. Oh, in Lupus. Awesome. Let's have a look at our character sheet actually, see what we got now. So, breed. Homid. A guru of human ancestry. Also the human form of the guru. Excellent stuff. Auspice unknown. Rank cub. We're at the bottom of the... We're at the bottom. Tribe unknown. So, my predictions so far. Auspice. Arun. Maybe Galliard. Not too sure. Tribe. I'm not sure. Not too sure at all. It could be anything. Maybe a Silver Fang, but I haven't been, inspiring and all of that. So maybe a Silver Fang. Could be a Shadow Lord, being a bit of a twat. Who knows? Let's have a see what else we got. So inspiring 9, analytical 4, spiritual 1, condition healthy, goal mystery. So this is all sort of changed now. Pushka, loyal. So, I spasmed. Suddenly, a feeling like cramp or spasm surged through me and everything changed. I was Homid, the human form. I hit the ground with my bare ass. Colours exploded, the morning breeze suddenly became cold, and I shivered. I looked up. Confused, I looked at the person approaching me. We've prepared new clothes for you. Olga handed me a bundle she took out of her backpack. Better stay human for a while. They won't survive the change. Not until Lisa deems that you're worthy to learn the right. I took the bundle. So there is a right that all Guru can learn to basically bind their clothes to them. So that when they change, the clothes just change as well. They just go. And then when they change back into Homid, they're wearing their clothes again. So I snatched the bundle and started pulling the clothes on. Sturdy but comfortable boots, cargo pants, a green hoodie, they fit perfectly. I thought about the previous night. When I was raging through the forest about how differently I experienced the world through the wolf senses, and about the discomfort and confusion of changing shape. So, I was a werewolf. Excellent. Goal. Master the change. Learn how to change forms at will. Pursue to regain willpower. There was no denying it. I was no longer a human. It was all their fault. I wanted the full story. I appreciate the help. Let's get the full story. Tell me everything, I demanded. It seems I've missed a lot about life. Don't worry, there are plenty of stories to tell. We just stood there for a moment, tense and silent. I was wondering how one usually learned that they were a werewolf. But how come nobody knew about werewolves? Ooh, ask Olga about her story. Spend a willpower point. Yeah. So how did you become... How did you... You know, what a brilliant conversationalist I was. A werewolf? Oh, well. Olga ran her hand through her hair. I was born here, you know. I always knew. I always knew I was different. Me too. I felt the same way. I shared my experience. I meant that I like girls. She shook her head and continued, so I went to study in Warsaw for a moment. Everything was fine. I met that really nice girl. I held my breath. I felt there was a butt coming and held my breath. We went partying one night and three dudes attacked us. When I came round, they were lying on the ground with their guts ripped out and my girlfriend was nowhere to be seen. She made a face as if being a lesbian wasn't complicated enough. And what happened next? Come on, mouse. Work for me. And then I was curious what happened next. And then I was a brilliant student, got on all those Erasmus scholarships, travelled across Europe, worked for all the NGOs possible, burned out and decided to come home. How come nobody knew about werewolves? Doesn't make any sense, it suddenly struck me. How come no one knows werewolves exist? We protect the veil. The veil, a poetic term for the false assumption that the supernatural does not exist, which the delirium reinforces. So, oh, I was about to explain the delirium, and there it is. It's easy to convince humans that supernaturals don't exist. They already want to believe that, and the delirium helps. Delirium, the madness and memory loss suffered by humans who look upon a guru in Krynos form. You mean delirium as in the medical condition? I asked, remembering something I'd read about acute confusional states. You'll have to ask Pat for that, but the gist of it. Oh dear, come on, Steve, you can read. Is that humans are incapable of remembering that they saw a Krynos. She laughed. They panic, turn away, and instantly forget every time. So Krynos is the huge, brutal werewolf, fighty form. So what it puts here. Krynos, half wolf, half human war form of the guru. Like 8 foot tall and stuff as well. So then I realised something. The wolves had awoken. At some point the rest of the party had awoken and joined us. The clearing was full of wolves. Fuck. The wolves were closing in on me. I saw an opening to escape. If I did, I could figure this all out on my own. So... well, we can't really deny it's happened. She's sort of accepted it, so we have to go there. Is that a mouse? The headless body was heavy. They said that as my first kill, it was my burden, it was my duty to take it to the barrows. I didn't want to do it. It was heavy in more ways than one. I got my shit together. I think that... you suck it up and you just get on with it, don't you? I got my shit together, lifted the corpse and threw it over my shoulder. We are Guru, and when we rage, people die. Olga stood by my side. He had it coming. She accompanied me, carrying the severed head in a bag. The others stayed behind, covering the tracks. I couldn't accept that I'd killed someone. I focused on the walk. I didn't want to talk, or to think for that matter. Not about the person I was carrying, or rather trying to carry. It was just a thing I needed to transport from point A to point B. That was it. But the body was too heavy and lose health. I just kept dragging the body. Now, I'm not going to show weakness. I kept dragging the body, getting more tired and more sweaty with every step. See, that could be bad though, if there are people around. Fuck it. Oh. I think Glabro. Oh, I was Glabro, the near-human form. The pain was stronger than I ever imagined. I felt my muscles spasm as they rearranged themselves. My jaw cracked and my mouth filled with blood. I clenched my fists and claws drove into my palms. I screamed. When I rose, panting and sweaty, I was more than human. I was Glabro, wolfish, strong, scary. It hurt. The world shifted, not much but enough. I felt my teeth get sharper and muscles stronger. I picked up the body. It was a lot lighter. We went on. We went on, but we weren't alone. I realised there were two shapes in the bushes either side on the road, one bigger and dark grey, and the other small and white. Ah, my companion smiled. I see you've noticed our patrons. Patrons, a spirit joined to a pack or tribe and representative of its inner nature. I remember them from my dreams. I don't. I've forgotten them. Yeah, we know each other, I said, remembering my dream. Oh, that they were the wolf and the weasel? Was it a weasel? I can't remember. So it's not a mouse, so that's yeah, or a ferret. I don't know. I can't remember. And they were dancing in the sky, and then during the dream, we sang out to them. Yeah, I do remember these things now. I couldn't believe what I saw. It made no sense. I felt as if my brain was short-circuiting, trying to intercept signals not meant for human senses. There's a weasel! Was there really a wolf? Was it really a weasel? So, I could understand just accepting there being a wolf there. And potentially, when it comes to, because she's just discovered werewolves are real, just going, well, I can accept the wolf. But looking at a weasel and having the same thing happen, maybe not so much. So was it really a weasel? When I turned my eyes away from the weasel, it flickered, as if it was just a projection on a broken screen. One moment an animal, a moment later just an idea. When it talked, the air smelled of electric discharge, and I felt like the words displayed directly in my mind. They wouldn't leave me alone. But, go on. The weasel circled me, and before I knew it, I could feel small claws on my leg, and then on my back, and then on my arm. It smelled of musk and electricity. And then it bit my ear. Little fuck. I tried to shake it off. Get off me, I yelled, trying to knock the weasel off my arm. Little shit. Ooh, a feisty one. I like it. This electronic voice echoed in my head. Enough, the wolf growled, or at least that was what my brain decided to hear. I felt the weasel draw its breath. In the beginning there was Gaia. Gaia, the earth in both a physical and spiritual sense, the mother goddess, aka Mother Earth. And she gave birth to a mighty breed of warriors, the weasel began. It sounded electronical, like a teenager reading a Wikipedia page over a voice chat. They were called Guru. That's werewolves in werewolfish. And their sole purpose was to protect Gaia. They failed, wailed the wolf. I looked to the weasel for advice. It looks like we're going to Mr. Weasel here. Why did they fail? I looked to the weasel for advice. When time began, Gaia released three primal forces upon the earth: the weaver, the wild, and the worm. The weasel continued. The wild was an untamed force of life and creation. The cold, ruthless weaver gave structure to the world, and the worm destroyed what needed to be destroyed, creating balance. So, were we creatures of the wild? So, were werewolves creatures of the wild, I asked, an untamed force of life? They were Gaia's children, the wolf snarled, born to herd and contain humans. See, the Red Talons had it right all along. So what went wrong? I can see that something went wrong, I smiled wryly. The weaver grew too ambitious and trapped the worm within its lifeless web. The weasel answered, confined and denied. The worm went slowly insane. The wolf wailed. Now Gaia is dying, choked by the weaver and eaten alive by the worm, wailed the wolf. And the wild is not the one you should fight, she snarled. You were born to protect it. Then it turned and led the way. It took us to the barrows. The barrows looked just as I remembered them, but somehow calmer, warm and welcoming. Olga kneeled near one of the mounds, put her hand on it and whispered a few words. I saw the ground open slowly, like a mouth in the earth. I sighed. Let's do this. We put the body in the hole. We took the severed head and the body I'd wrapped in sheets and put them in the hole. It closed slowly, and I could swear I heard the trees nearby sigh in anticipation. The wolf howled, and I could feel the hair on my hands rise. Welcome to your new life, the talking white weasel grinned. We have something else to show you. I ran with them. You're a cub, so you have special privileges, said the weasel. Pushka will grant you a vision. You must see to understand, said the wolf. Think carefully before you choose what to see. Ooh. So, well, we've come here to find out about your family. So the past, your family. The present, that's just what's going on now. The future, your destiny. So do you want to find out why everyone despises your family? Let's have a quick look at this. Find your place among the guru. Morning wolf, winter weasel. There's nothing really. What connects you to the forest? Let's go find out what's with the family. The tangled paths. It was hard to find the barrows, although I knew where they were. When I looked behind me, the path had disappeared. I felt the pushka playing with me, twisting paths, blocking my way with bushes and dead trees, and then suddenly opening a new path that was straight and full of sunshine. I got tired. Or I pushed on. But I pushed on. Since the change, I've become acutely aware of how my body worked. Excuse me. And I remembered what humans were good at. Running. Stubborn, relentless, long-distance running. Not as fast as a deer, not as nimble as a wolf, but steady and without rest. So I ran. Then I was there. The barrows. I climbed the nearest hill. When I was at the top, I stumbled on something, a shape in the grass. A skull watching me from its bleached eye sockets. I touched it. Ooh. The berry passed. There is a swell. It starts deep within me, and then it expands. Everything is in motion, and there is no centre anymore. I see a bird, a forest, or a village. Well, at the moment we've been playing it like she's been fascinated by the forest, so let's go for the forest. There is a forest. I run among the trees, and suddenly I see a hamlet where a clearing once was. My howl is like a keen. The houses are mere huts. There is almost nothing that protects the people from the forest. Their clothes are rags, their feet are bare, their hair and long beards are unkempt. They are wolf cubs. And then there is blood. Then the howling begins, the mournful, blood-curdling keen of a mother who has lost her children. Watch, whispers the voice in my head. Watch and remember. But I want to act. But I cannot just stand by and watch. I want to act. I howl a song about the cubs, their hopes, and their senseless death. The forest listens to me. The forest wakes up, erupts with rage, and powerful furred bodies surge through the trees toward the village. The humans try to escape. They scream and beg for mercy. Then they try to protect themselves with fire. I take the fire from their hands. The Guru rise up, their talons red with blood, their eyes glazed with fury, and the fire is yanked from the hands of the villagers. The houses start to burn. The keening turns into a howl of joy. I am the Guru. The Guru have my eyes, my face. They are my family. I am the blood of their blood. And then it happens. The humans return, they rebuild the village, this time stronger and better protected. Then we, the Guru, come down on them like wolves on the fold. And again, new villages, new fires, more blood. And again, and again, and again. Seasons change, centuries pass, the keening continues. Villages in the forest burn, until one day there is only one Guru left in the family, and he slays his own kindred in the fit of his first rage. That's going to be your dad, isn't it? That's going to be our dad. Papa? He is young, but I recognise someone in him, an old man I know. He used to tell me stories about the forest before my mother took me away. I stay there and I watch, but I can't move. My throat burns, my stomach is in knots. I want to scream, but I have no mouth. I feel the fire, I smell the blood. I smell ash and tears. I see the large ash-grey wolf looking straight at me. Her eyes are golden. She weeps. It is what the Pushka wants, she says to me. It is your duty, it is you. Come with me, child. Be my fangs and claws. There is no one else to be my cub. Come to me, child. I will nurse you and I will lick your wounds. We will kill together, we will feast and we will be merry. The forest will grow. I looked at her. Perhaps for the first time I saw her for who she was. Her pelt was marred with fire, her eyes were smoking embers. Ash was falling from her heaving flames. She looked old, ancient, seething with anger. She was mourning incarnated. She was Kazan's mother. She was Kazan's... Oh yeah, Kazan was the famous wolf. She was Kazan's mother, mourning her stolen cubs, howling in the woods, waiting for a response that never came. But she was more than that. She was also the Pushka. She was more than one wolf. She was the darkness. She was more than one wolf. She was more than one wolf, but a combined memory of all wolves who'd lost their cubs, their kin, their brothers and sisters since humans came to the Pushka. At least that was what I thought when I looked at her. The wolf mother looked back at me and something in her eyes made me realise that she was trying to tell me what the Pushka wanted from me. Join me, she pleaded. Only you can understand me. Only you. I went to her. She accepted me, and I accepted myself. The mourning wolf loyal, my family was serving the wolf mother. Darkness fell again, and a bloody tide was loosed upon the world. A lone howl pierced the silence like a single ray of moonlight in the darkness. Then there was another one, and then another, and then another. A choir of voices, triumphant and joyful. I opened my eyes. When I opened my eyes, I was in a clearing. Around me there were wolves, huge, monstrous wolves, howling at the sun. I joined them. I was Hispo, the monstrous wolf form. Oh, indicate. Alright, okay. Instinctively I changed and joined the choir. My voice was unsteady at first, but soon I found my own note, a unique addition to the chorus. Well, hello there, Olga smiled at me, and welcome to the Sept. Nice. The what? The Sept, whatever that meant. I just listened. I have no idea what you're talking about, I snapped, angry and confused. We live in packs, Olga explained, and when packs unite to fight a common enemy, they form a Sept. So there were 2 packs there. I realised that there must be at least 2 packs there. I looked at Olga, Cornell, Daniel, Lisa. So, let's have a look then. Oh, the Wolf Mother was my connection to the forest. My family served her for ages, burning villages for the Pushka. So that's what we thought. That's what we thought was going to happen there. So, Olga sympathetic, Lisa sympathetic, Cornell neutral, Daniel sympathetic. Well, she's got a bit of a crush on Lisa, so let's go for that. A huge white Siberian wolf stood up. It was Lisa, human looking again. Her clothes rumpled. Olga and Daniel joined her seconds later. We are the pack of the mourning wolf mother, said Olga. They smelled of ash and tears, and for a moment I saw the wolf spirit among them. I looked at Cornell. A great grey wolf changed into Cornell, and soon Pat and Kim joined him. We are the winter weasel packs, said Kim. A white shadow settled on Pat's shoulder. I smelled musk and electricity. We are all Gaia's soldiers, said Cornell, in that we have no choice, but we can choose whom we fight alongside. What were we fighting for? What were we fighting for? I asked. We fight to save our Mother Earth, Daniel wailed. She is sick, dying, and we are the last beacon of hope against the darkness and corruption that is the worm, Kim said. The last word reeked of decay and burning oil. Did I have to join a pack? No. Garou can survive on their own, Olga stated the obvious. You may not like it, but if you want to live, you need us and our support, and we need you. I had so many questions. What about the moon? Was every set that diverse? How did spirits work? Right. We're going to be working through these ones. Why did I hear the moon whispering to me? I asked. Luna gave us rage. That is why she's important, Olga said. And that is why you'll never be able to touch silver again. Was every set that diverse? You are from all over Europe, I noticed. Is this like a standard for a set? I looked at Cornell. Let's go Cornell for this one. I didn't even know if that was a stupid question or a smart one. I looked at Cornell. It's far from the standard, but desperate types make strange bedfellows. He smiled sadly. Normally a sept is dominated by one tribe, maybe 2. There are at least a dozen tribes, Daniel interrupted, and I hope, Maya, that you will choose yours wisely. We get to choose a tribe? Interesting. How did the spirits work? What about the spirits, I asked. How does that work? The world casts a shadow, and we call it the Umbra, said Lisa. And in the shadow, every living creature, every emotion and idea, every important object exists as a spirit. That's all you need to know at the moment. I summed it up. So, if I got this right, I've been conscripted into an ancient war against the worm, I said, slowly trying to put it all together. And the moon gave me rage as a weapon, but I must avoid silver. I took a breath. And there's a whole secret world of spirits, I continued, and I have to join a pack and choose a tribe. Exactly, Lisa nodded. As for the tribe, there are two people who could mentor you now. There are two people who can mentor you now. Olga is from the Black Furies, an ancient tribe of warrior women, and Cornell is from the Children of Gaia. Oh, I thought he was a Silent Strider. Oh well. That's, yeah, similar, I guess, in a way. And Cornell is, and he's more a peace and harmony guy. But what about my family's tribe? Oh, hey, what about my family's tribe? I asked. Lisa winced. Daniel sighed. Olga shook her head. Get of Fenris. Oh, wow. What was the matter? I asked again. Your ancestors were the Get of Fenris, and no one here wants to have anything to do with that tribe, Cornell answered. They stand against everything believe in. My grandpa had nothing to do with that. My grandfather didn't even know you. You can't judge me by his tribe's actions. You know that your family was burning villages for centuries, Lisa pointed out. Did you ever wonder why? Get a Fenris are the most radical guru supremacists that ever marred the face of the earth, Kim scoffed. Like legit fascist werewolves. Some of them literally worked for Hitler. Oh my god! Well, that... The tribal werewolf supremacists who celebrate the destruction of the human now but further Fenris promises at Ragnarok. Antagonistic to other tribes to the extent that some whisper of one taint, hatred and distrusted. Many of them see them as another enemy in the war of the apocalypse. Okay. That's interesting. Because what about the Red Talons here? Because yeah, the Get are like this, but the Red Talons hated all humankind. I had the right to know my legacy. Thank you for telling me, I said. I had the right to learn about where I came from. For a moment we were all silent. I needed to know more about the tribes. I wanted to learn more about the tribes and find an option that would really resonate with who I was. So, Olga was... Let's go through. So, Olga is a Black Fury. The Black Furies are awesome. Strong, just women or metis, which is... There's a law, women, werewolf and werewolf cannot breed because it's like an inbred thing because their blood is so potent. So they have metis, and metis are like deformed, and Black Furies take them in. They're the only men that they have in their tribe. I am quite fond of the Black Furies. And Cornell as a child of Gaia. Right, so let's talk to Kim. Bone gnawers! Yes! Love them. Kim told me a lot about bone gnawers. Urban werewolves fighting for the disadvantaged. Uh, Children of the Rat. I love them. They are my second favourite tribe. Do you really have the rat as a tribe patron? I ask. Sure we do. Kim answered. It's a very good patron. Resilient. You want to be like a rat, always managing, always afloat. They kept talking. And this shit here, they gestured around, this shit comes from prejudice, from exclusion, and from greed. Take greed and prejudice away and 90% of the world's problems are solved. They sighed heavily. Now tell it to the other guru, and they look down at you because you're a bone gnawer, and they think they are superior. Prejudice, prejudice everywhere. Let's talk to Daniel then. Okay, I think the Red Talons have changed. Oh. I asked Danny if I could join his tribe, but he didn't understand the question. I'm a Red Talon, he said, as if it explained everything. Red Talons, born exclusively from wild wolves, most of them hate every human alive for their millennia-long war against predators and wolves all over the planet. The other tribes hate them because they don't compromise and are blind to the suffering of the human half of the Guru. What exactly were Red Talons? And the Red Talons, they are my favourite tribe. It is the tribe of the Guru who are born as wolves, Daniel explained. We usually don't mix with others and we kill humans, but since I'm the only one here, I decided that it was better to join the rest. Why? Why? I kept asking. He looked at me as if I was stupid. What, are you stupid? He asked a second later. There is always strength in numbers. I protect my folk better when there are more werewolves around. Your folk? Wolves. I started to get who he was. Daniel sniffed the air. His nostrils moved in a very non-human way. I was looking, enthralled. Was he a wolf? Are you a wolf? I asked. He made a full face. We all are. That was not what I meant. I'm not going to say to him I'm human. You know what I mean? He laughed a short barking laugh. Yes, I was born as a wolf, and then when it turned out I was not only a wolf, I was disgusted, you know? Going around on two legs, soft and helpless. Who really wants that? I didn't want to have anything to do with humans, but Lisa comes one day and she talks to me and brings me Olga, and I think, well, they are not that bad, and they have stuff. Stuff is nice. I like stuff. I really like Daniel. I didn't like him to start off with. I like this. He sniffed on the wind again. Besides, he said, I can show them the pushka the way I see it, the way the wolf sees it. Once they see it like that, they never come back to their old ways. I asked him about the wolf mother. The mourning wolf mother. Daniel fell silent for a moment. She is Kazan's mother. That's what I said. I'm way too excited about this. She is Kazan's mother. She became a spirit after his death. But I knew she was older than that. It's impossible, I said. She must be older. Much, much older. Daniel looked up and then shrugged. If you say so, he answered. I still like her. She knows what it means to be a wolf. That's all I wanted from him. Thanks. Let's have a chat with Lisa. Oh. Okay. I asked Lisa about her tribe, but she inherited a Sibarak legacy from her Buryat grandfather. She said I didn't know the proper legends, customs, and culture to join. Their hate, sorrow, and rage are deeper than any other tribes because their icy Siberian homeland is melting and decaying. They are despised by the other tribes as half-breed loners who care only for themselves. Sibarak, a Russian word? But the tribe name reminds me of something. I must have heard it before. The Russian, some from Serbian, Polish, it is very own specific meaning. It is a word for political prisoners exiled to Siberia, and there were tens of thousands. Which meaning did she prefer? Lisa, friendly. Which meaning do you identify with, the Polish or the Russian? I said, Lisa smiled. My tribe name describes both of my legacies. My granny was a political exile and my grandpa was a Siberian indigenous. I use it because it speaks the truth. Okay, I think she's the Shadow Lord. But they're more German or Germanic sort of areas than anything else. That's just my thoughts. So these are my own thoughts. Okay, so yeah, don't bite my head off if I'm very wrong here. How did she become a werewolf? My grandpa saw that I had the soul of a wolf and started teaching me about the spirit world. She looked at me with her violet eyes. When the time was right, he guided me through the change. So she's a Theurge as well. I wish my grandpa had done the same. I growled. I guess he didn't care. Oh. He must have told you many things when you were a baby and you remembered. How else would you know the high tongue? The language of the Guru, it depends as much on body language and tone as actual words. Much of it is instinctive, accented by pheromones, growls and whines. I asked her about the Wolf Mother. She's mighty and powerful. There was a tone of deep respect on Lisa's voice. Who was she? Tell me more, I asked. She is old, very old. We don't know when she first appeared here. I think she is the avatar of the forest. The avatar? I asked. An emanation, an embodiment, like she actually is the Pushka, you know? She's powerful, she knows stuff, and she is really... She knows how to find her way to people's heads. Lisa looked at me for a moment, deciding what to say next. I respect her, but sometimes I think she gets into Olga's head too much. Olga lets her in and the wolf pushes. And I don't know. Maybe it's the right thing to do now. I didn't comment. How did you come to Poland? By train? So how did you get here? I asked. Awful, awful joke. Well, my grandfather was from the old tribe, from up north, proper north. Siberian. Her voice was trembling. But we are spread around the world now because the old Siberia is gone, melted, rotting. When I came here in search of a better life, through the forest, illegal, I still wait for my papers to be reported. She wasn't exactly hiding. Aren't you afraid they'll catch you? You are not. I scratched my eyes. You're not exactly hiding. I said finally. Nah. You know, I do things here and there, help with the tourists, help with the forest, and my moonshine is the best in the province. Besides, I made a pact with the spirits. They watch over me, distract people when they get too nosy. That was all they wanted from her. So, Pat. So... I don't remember Pat at all. Glasswalker. Okay. Pat was a glasswalker. Glasswalker is an adaptable tribe of urban human lovers who worship the Weaver, or at least freely use its tools to fight the worm, hated by the other tribes for their willingness to abandon the old ways and embrace the tools of the enemy. Her tribe was finding its niche in cutting-edge technological cityscapes among the strands of the Weaver's net. It sounded intriguing. We talked for a while. So, it's yeah. That they're all outcasts. So you're basically a city dweller, I observed. All ghast walkers. It's our natural habitat. I feel quite out of place in the forest. Sorry, just getting comfy. But the Pushka was our home. Why? I couldn't understand. The Pushka is our home. It may be your home, she said, and suddenly I realised we had less in common than I thought. And I thought, I'm more of a city girl, she added. We use the Weaver to fight the worm, and the forest is not the Weaver's domain. And I happen to be quite fond of humanity. They have great potential. I'm not overly interested in glasswalkers. I had to think it over. Finally, I stopped asking. I had to think over what I learned. But I was too exhausted to bug them with personal questions. There are a lot of werewolves there. One thing is bugging me, I said. Why are there so many of you here? Suddenly... Ooh. So cool. Suddenly everyone in Białowice, I'm never going to get this, am I? I am an idiot, so I do apologise. One thing is bugging me, I said. Why there are so many of you here? Suddenly everyone in Białowice is a werewolf or what? You know nothing, cub. Olga laughed bitterly. A mere century ago, there were dozens of packs in these forests, but none of the old guards survived the 90s. Lisa shook her head. We had to start from scratch. Until you showed up. There were only 6 of us. And the 3 of us, not even local, Cornell pointed out. 2 packs, too small for their own good. Anyway, before you're admitted to a tribe, you need to prove yourself. What now? Prove myself? I was shocked. Hadn't I proved myself enough already? The rite of passage. You went through your first change, Pat said. She was leaning on a tree nearby, and you know everything you need to know at the moment. But you have to go through the rite of passage, Daniel rubbed against my flank, excited. No. A vision quest, Kim winked at me. And since we don't have time for tests, we need you to solve a real problem, Olga stepped in. Namely, we want you to find a way of ending this logging problem, Cornell said gently. So how would you like to do it? They all looked at me in anticipation. I took my time, enjoying the moment. My body was buzzing with energy, ready to shift shape on the slightest sign of danger. My mind was clear. I knew what to do. So, we couldn't stay. So we can't. That's not an option here. We had to destroy the logger's image, and we couldn't stay. We can't stay quiet. Not what I had in mind. We need to talk about our cause, I decided. That's the way to gain political and financial support. Olga had another idea. I still think we should just burn these fuckers to the ground, grumbled Olga. Cornell had another idea. Something is rotten in Białowice. Cornell commented, and I think that we should find and neutralise local forces that support their logging. I continued with my plan. We can do a live stream from here, a documentary, show people the forest is so precious, show them what's happening here. I continued, I know how to make a thing go viral. When we finish, the loggers... Galliard called it. Sort of. I said Arun as well. When we're finished, the loggers will be the vilest of the vile in the public's opinions. Daniel beamed. Spoken like a true galliard. You were born under a gibbous moon, weren't you, Maya? It's my auspice too. How did he know? I looked at him surprised. How did he know? Mum always told me that when she gave birth to me, the gibbous moon was shining through my window, giving her comfort. I nodded. Gibbous moon, achievement. Woo! Glory 2, honor 0, wisdom 1. It is a path of glory and wisdom. Your place in werewolf society will be determined by your renown. You can earn glory through defeating mighty enemies and succeeding in dangerous quests. You can earn honor by following your moral imperative and upholding the laws of the Guru. You can earn wisdom by affecting efficiently and thinking well before you act. Your renown will change as you play, contributing to Maya's legend among the Guru. No pressure at all. So, let's have a quick look. Galliard. I felt overwhelmed. Mulga? Olga must have sensed my confusion. Come on. We have a lot to discuss. She patted my shoulder. And we have to find your phone and wallet. So I followed her. I had to tie up loose ends in my old life. That you do. Oh, okay. So, I've been doing this episode for a while. I think that'll be a good place to call it. Thanks for watching this one. Thank you for I'm hoping liking and subscribing and doing all of that shiz. Really enjoying this. So yeah. So we'll carry on. We're going to see what the rite of passage is going to be. We're going to see what's carrying on with this. We'll see what choices they give me when it comes to picking a tribe. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.